Hi guys, I'm back with another unboxing. This one's a bit different. I sent my Shimano Sedona 1000 off to Shimano Australia for a service, and they were kind enough to give me a call and ask me if I wanted to have the new Shimano Sedona FJ as a replacement in the 2500 model. And I said, yep, that sounds great. So some fantastic customer service from Shimano. I'll open the box up. I have opened it already just to make sure that I black out my details, but I haven't had a very good look at the reel yet, so let's take a look. So this is the paperwork from Shimano Australia, and you can see here I sent in my FE Sedona, and they replaced the reel with the new model discussed with customer and approved, and they didn't charge me anything. So incredible customer service from Shimano Australia, really appreciate it and thank them very much. Okay, let's take a look at the reel. There's the new 2500 FJ Sedona. Just pop that down for a minute. And in here is my old Sedona, but it's still in pieces. And that's fine, I sent it to them in pieces. So there's the rotor. There's the handle. There we go, that's the clutch and some of the gears. It's obviously the spool. It's my drag tightener. And there's the body. So if I can be bothered, I'll attempt to put that together again. And I've got the 6-pound braid on here. And yeah, I'll worry about that braid later. So here's the old Sedona. This is the previous model. That's what it looks like, and you'll probably be reminded instantly as you see it. I'll put this away. Okay, so here's the new Sedona. So the spool is predominantly silver now, instead of the gold from the previous one. And it spins beautifully, just like the previous model did. Yeah, really nice and smooth. So this one is the 2500 size. So I sent in a 1000 and they gave me a 2500 back, and that was fine because they called me in advance. So it was really good service from Shimano. This is the 2023 model, so it's still relatively new in early 2025. It retails for about 119 Australian dollars in most stores now, and that's about 75 US dollars. The recommended retail price in Australia is 149, which it probably sold at when it first came out, but yeah, now it's down to $119. And some of the key features of this reel, it has the Hagani cold forged gearing in it, which the models below it don't. That's the entry level Shimano Sienna and the Nexave. I don't think the Nexave off the top of my head has the Hagani gearing in it, but I could be wrong. It has 3 bearings in it, and it's got a pin through handle, I believe. I'll just double check that, I'm pretty sure it does. Yep, so we can see that's a pin through handle there. Shift that over. Yep. So it's a pin through handle instead of a screw in handle, and that's perfectly acceptable at this price point. Okay, that's screwed back in. You can see that it's made in Malaysia. Now it weighs 240 grams. At least that's what Shimano says. I'll just check that out, see if it's accurate. Yep, I've got a margin of error of 1 or 2 grams on these cheap scales, so that's about right. So this reel has 9 kilos of drag, which is pretty stock standard compared to the previous Sedona 2500 model that had 4 kilos of drag. So that's quite a major update between the old model and the current model. And it has a 5:1 gear ratio, which is the same as the previous model. Like I said before, 3+1 ball bearings in this. It has the pin through handle, and it has the Hagani cold forged gears. It's got the better Shimano line keeper, which is great. It's much improved over the previous one, and you can hear a bit of drag sound if I give it a click. So there's the drag sound, which is not much of an indication. It'll have Shimano's cheap drag clicker in it. Let's take a quick look at that. Yep, Shimano has that cheap triangular drag clicker just there, and that comes in most of their entry-level reels. Pop that back on and tighten it down. The Sedona is the reel that you might get as your first sort of slightly serious reel. If you've started fishing and you want to get into something a bit better, you might start with the Shimano Sienna, like I did about 6 years ago, and then eventually I moved up to the Sedona, and now I'm buying some of the more mid-range reels generally. And as a step up, it is a beautiful reel compared to those the Sienna and the Nexave, which is quite a good reel, but this is really where you start to benefit from everything that comes with a Shimano reel. The next one up from this is the Shimano Sahara 2500 FJ. That's about $159, so it's $30 Australian more than this one, and you get the screw-in handle with the Shimano Sahara. You also get an additional bearing, and it weighs the same though, 240 grams. So consider stepping up to the Shimano Sahara FJ just for that screw-in handle, because the screw-in handle does make a big difference. You really do feel like you're a bit more connected to the reel with a screw-in handle. But at that price, I'd also consider the Shimano Naski. The Naski for $159, pretty much the same price as you can get the Shimano Sahara for in Australia, is a bit of a no-brainer if you want to spend an extra $30 or $40 on a fishing reel. The Shimano Naski has a screw-in handle like the Sahara, but it has a 6.2 gear ratio, so it retrieves line a lot faster if you need that. And especially if you're into your bait fishing and you want to get your bait back a lot faster, then you'd step up to a 6.2 gear ratio. If you're throwing around soft plastics, then the 5.0 gear ratio in this one is perfectly fine. It's actually a really good option. And as far as the Naski is concerned, the big difference is that it has core protect. So it has a bit of weatherproofing to protect the gearing inside the reel, and at $159 Australian dollars for the Shimano Naski, I would definitely step up to that. I'm sure everyone's seen the Naski already, but if you haven't, this is what it looks like. So the Shimano Naski is the sort of obvious next step up after the Sedona. So there's probably not much else to say about this reel. Like all Shimano reels, especially once they have the Hagani gearing in them like this one does, they're absolutely buttery smooth. They spin beautifully. They feel great in the hand, and they're just really good entry level or slightly up from entry level reels. So Shimano Sedona, it's a bit of a no-brainer if you want your first decent reel, and if you want to spend that bit of extra money, then I'd probably skip the Shimano Sahara and I'd go up to the Shimano Naski for about $40 more. You do get the core protect and the screw-in handle, which does make a big difference. Okay, so that pretty much wraps this unboxing up. It's a beautiful little silver and gold reel. It's most likely super reliable, just like the old one was. And interesting enough that when I sent the old one in, after about 5 years of use on and off, they said there'd been a little bit of saltwater ingress, but overall you know, the gearing was showing some signs of wear, but it was still in pretty good nick. So if that's an indication of how good Shimano reels are after such a long period of time, then this one should be no different. Don't everyone rush out and send Shimano your old reels to try and get a new one back. When I was talking to them, it sounds like I just got really lucky at the time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.